Well, hi, we're beginning now the second part of ADHD and how to deal with them at home, in school, and in club. Now we are going to talk about some things that they are going to do at school, and we say this to notice this and to accept this from them, and we are going to say later what we're supposed to do regarding those points. Our ADHD kids or students um, at school or at home or any place, they cannot sit still. They they are going to fidget while they are sitting. Um, why they are doing this? Because simply this is a problem they have in their nervous system, so they can't sit still. Everything they have to, or we say they can't control it, we have to accept it. What we are going to do regarding this, we are going to permit them fidget in their while they are sitting in the chair, at home, at school, any place. They cannot. They cannot is different from they don't want to. It's completely different. When we say they cannot, that means they can't control this. So we have to accept it. Of course, we are going to try to improve this to make it less, but we have to accept it until we change. Also, they cannot concentrate for a relatively long time. They cannot keep their attention for a relatively long time. They cannot concentrate, which means that I have to respect this. So while dealing with them in school or in the training in the club or as a parent, when I want to talk with them, I will make my sentence short as possible as can, and clear and directly to the aim. I'm not going to go around and around and around until I reach what I want to tell them. I will lose them while I'm going around and around. Also, many of them, they have problems in their sensory integration. We have 7 senses. When those 7 senses are not working correctly with the same speed and they are not operating with the same in the same level, here we do have a problem. Many of them, they have problem in their sensory integration. We have sensory integration tests. We're supposed to make it for our ADHD kids to know where there is problem, because this is different from one to another, and in such a case we are going to deal with sensory integration. There is exercises especially for them, and it will help our ADHD kids a lot. Also, when we move as a parent, I'm the parent, when my kid goes to school, he's going to his school, he's going to forget a lot of his things which is supposed to be taken to the school, including his homework, which he did it already. He's going to forget his homework. He's going to forget his pencils, his books at home. When he will come back from school to home, he's going to forget a lot of things at school. He's going to forget his jackets, his bag, his etc. In the club, going and coming back from the club, it is the same. It's expected. When we say it's expected, so please expect this and deal with this. How you're going to deal with this? You are going to help your kid keep organized. You are going to revise what he is doing. For example, you are going to tell him, please, at night or after he finished studying, okay, prepare your bag for tomorrow, and let him do it by himself, and then go and check with him and help him remember what he forgot, etc. To the club, it is the same. First, train him about the thing he's supposed to take to his club while he's having his training, and then revise with him. Did you forget something? You have to revise as parents with him everything. Okay, this is very important until they will grow up and they will make their own strategies to help themselves remember everything. Daily activities, especially if he's still young, at school, in the training, at home, the same thing we are doing every day, and still he cannot remember. Yes, he cannot remember because he is having problem in this. We have to know When anybody having a problem in his attention, so he's going to have a problem in his perception, and he's going to have a problem in his memory, because it's just three steps: attention, perception, and memory. It's just one leading to the other one. If the attention is weak, so the perception is going to be weaker, and the memory is going to be much weaker, because what's entering to the memory, it's nothing maybe, or entering, but it's very hazy, it's not clear, so he will not remember. Okay, right. Of course, when he will go to school, but when we grow up and we have exams and we have deadline to turn in the search, etc., he will forget the deadline. We are going to tell you what to do later. Now, I'm going to give you the hint. You have to help them memorize. Mobile could help you in this too much. While we are working with our kids in anything at home or at school, in the training, we have to remind them to accomplish what they have began, because they could forget while the processing, if it took a relatively long time, they can forget. So you will find him or her just sitting and doing nothing, or going around and doing nothing. He forgot. Of course, his desk, his locker, his bag, they are going to be in a huge disorder. So because they have a problem in this, we are going to help them in this. The thing, as I told you, they cannot do, please, we have to help them in this until they will help themselves one day. Also, our ADHD kids, they cannot, or say it in another sentence, they may act very, very dangerously. The consequence of what he's doing, he cannot consider them that much. He cannot, underline cannot. So he maybe acts very dangerously. Many things which he's supposed or she's supposed not to do, they will do it. And for them it's normal. They don't think that it's dangerous. Also, this is very important to know. So we have to give them extra protection, extra observation, because they could harm themselves really hard. The actions they are doing are very dangerous. This could be physically when they're still young, but when they will grow up, it will not going to be their action in physically. That means it's not in movement, but it's going to be in their actions and reactions with their friends. They could be more aggressive, not because they are aggressive, because they cannot control their temper. Little things for them, the reaction will be very high. Also, if they have problem in sensory integration, so the dimension between things and their position in the space, they cannot consider it well. So this will cause them. This may cause them to act dangerously, because they have a problem in their sensory integration. So kindly check their son's sensory integration. This will help so much. Also, some of our ADHD kids fail to understand the social cues, which means sometimes we don't want to say the things straight and clear to the person before us, so so not to harm him. So we say something, make him understand. This will not help them. If I give him a hint for something, some of them they cannot understand it. So we must say whatever we want to them, clear and in short sentence and directly to the point. So we guarantee that they will understand what we want to say. Otherwise, their answer for what we say could be weird for us, what he's saying. And for example, if he acted or say something which was not proper, so maybe the parent or the teacher or the trainer will say, why did you do so? This question is not for answering. يعني when the parent say this, she's not asking, she is blaming him. Why did you do so? If the kid having a problem to understand those social hints, so he will answer. يعني he will consider it as a question, not blaming. So he will say, because this and this. So in such a case, many parents and teachers and trainers, they are going to say, he means to make me angry, to annoy me. Imagine I was playing a game and he was just explaining it simply. So he looks like this, but simply he answered this because he didn't understand that this is a blaming. Many of them, they have a problem in this. So when I know that they have a problem in this, and each one, of course, each parent, they are going to know their kids يعني by time. If he is having this problem, so please expect that he may answer so please don't be angry from him. يعني he didn't understand what you meant. So kindly, in such a case, we will make our demand from them direct, straight, short sentence. Also because they can't sit still for a long time, they cannot keep their concentration or attention for a relatively long time. Completing any mission, it's going to be quite difficult for them, and they will take more time unless we will deal with them with a certain strategies, which we are going to talk later how to deal with when we want them to accomplish or finish any mission, academic or social or in training or whatever. Today in high pressure life, in school, in club, at home, we have high pressure. Even at home, we have television, we have the iPad, which we have the mobile, we have the computer and the laptops, and those things really very bad. The worst thing, really, iPad and mobiles, phone, and the games all upon them, and the movies which are available all the time, and all this are too much for them, too much. So if we leave our kid without helping him controlling those things, he is going to be overwhelmed very easily, and when he gets overwhelmed, in such a case, we are losing him not physically, meaning his attention, psychologically, because he cannot concentrate in anything after this. So please eliminate, control everything which can make our kid be overwhelmed, because in such a case we are losing them. There is a very nice thing to understand this. You know this the sponge, when we water the sponge with a lot of water, certain limit, the sponge will take no more water, whatever we make. So it is the same. I think we'll stop now. I don't want to be boring for you. I don't want you to be overwhelmed, so don't want to lose you. Till the next part, thank you and goodbye.